Good day, everyone. I am here to discuss about interest, maturity value, future value, and present value in simple and compound interest. And at the end of my discussion, you are able to investigate problems involving simple and compound interest, compute interest, maturity value, and present value in simple interest and compound interest environment. Last, solve problems involving simple and compound interest. Let us first discuss simple interest. As a recall, we define simple interest as the amount paid for the borrowed money or the amount earned for the deposited or invested money. As I have said a while ago, interest is different, though they are. For the first example, Mrs. Batumbakal gave 100,000 pesos to Mrs. Makaspak at 18%. How much was the interest after 45 days? Remember that when you are solving problem, you need to first identify all the given. And they are P for principal amount of 100,000 pesos, rate for at 18% or 0.18 in decimal form, T for time or term, 45 days. Remember that you need to express time into a year. So 45 days divided by 360 days is equivalent to 0.125 year. Next, since you are asking about how much was the interest, so the formula to be used is interest equal P multiplied by the rate and then multiplied by time. For the solution, simply input all this value from this given formula and replace P by 100,000, R by 0.18, and replace time by 0.125. Multiplying this number, it will result to 2,250 pesos. Therefore, the payment for the use of money after 45 days is 2,250 pesos. Second example, how much interest will be paid by Mr. Tom if he borrowed 515,515 pesos at 3.25% after 8 months? Here are the given. Principal amount of 515,515 pesos, interest rate of 3.25% or in decimal form, it is 0.0325, and term of 8 months. 8 months will be converted into a year. So 8 months is multiplied by 1 year divided by 12 months. It is equivalent to 2/3 year. And since you are asking about the interest, the formula to be used is I equals P multiplied by R multiplied by T. For the solution, simply input all of these values from the given formula. P is replaced by 515,515 pesos. R is being replaced by 0.0325 and T is replaced by 2/3. So what is the essence of expressing term in fraction form? Actually, by doing this, you are avoiding approximation of values during the process of calculating simple interest. As we know, the 2/3 is equivalent to 0.666666, and to avoid approximating this number, we will use the fraction form of 2/3. Simply multiply 2 by 0.0325 multiplied by 515,515 pesos and divide the outcome by 3. and it will result to 11,169.49167. Therefore, after borrowing 515,515 pesos at 3.25% of for 8 months, the interest will be 11,169.49167. So the payment for the use of money is 11,169.49167. Next, Cory deposited 202,020 pesos at a rural bank in Taguig, and she is paying 1.5% per annum simple interest. How much interest will she earn after 2 years and 6 months? Here are the given. Principal amount of 202,020 pesos, interest rate of 1.5% or 0.015, and term of 2 years and 6 months. Since 2 years is already expressed in years, we will just convert 6 months into a year. So to convert that, simply divide 6 by 12, and dividing this number will result to 0.5. 0.5 plus 2 is equivalent to 2.5 year. And the formula is still I equals P multiplied by R multiplied by T. For the solutions, simply input these values from the given formula. P is being replaced by 202,020 pesos, R by 0.015, and T by 2.5. Actually, we express T in decimal form because 2.5 is a terminating decimal, so there is no need to approximate this value. So why do we avoid approximating values? Because we are talking about money. So when we approximate a certain number, it will have a big impact on the final answer. So avoid approximating numbers. So it is fine if you approximate numbers at the end or in your final answer, but during the process of calculating simple interest, avoid approximation of numbers. So simply multiply 2.5 by 0.015 by 202,020 pesos, and it will result to 7,575.75 pesos. So the money earned by depositing 202,020 pesos at 1.5% per annum after 2 years and 6 months is 7,575.75. Let us now talk about maturity value and simple interest. When the time period of a loan reaches its maturity date, the loan is set to mature. In that period, the borrower repays the principal and the interest. The total repayment is known as the maturity value or future value, and the formula for maturity value is principal plus interest. We denote maturity value by capital letter F, principal by capital letter P, and interest by capital letter I. And since I is equivalent to P multiplied by R multiplied by T, another formula to be used is maturity value equals P plus PRT. And from this formula, we can still derive another formula by getting a common factor from these terms. So maturity value equals P multiplied by 1 plus RT. Why? P multiplied by 1 is P. P multiplied by positive RT is equivalent to positive PRT. So they mean the same thing. Having been said that, remember that although maturity value and future value mean the same thing, maturity value is used for loans, while future value is for invested or saved money. While principal and present value mean the same thing also, principal is usually used for loans while present value is for invested or saved money. So remember that borrowing and lending are two sides of the same transaction. Let us now have the first example for calculating maturity future value in simple interest. Jamaica invested the amount of 100,000 in a bank that offers 15.5% simple interest per annum. How much will she earn after 90 days? Here are the given. Future value, present value of 100,000 pesos. Rate of 15.5%, or in decimal form it is 0.155. Term of 90 days converted into a year, it is 0.25 years. 0.25 years. Simply divide 90 by 360. And the formula to be used, future value equals present value multiplied by 1 plus rate multiplied by time. For the solution, simply input these values from the given formula. P is replaced by 100,000, R is replaced by 0.155, and T is replaced by 0.25. First thing that you will do is to simplify numbers inside the parentheses. So 0.155 multiplied by 0.25 plus 1 is 1.03875. Multiplied by 100,000, it is 103,875 pesos. So the money that she will earn after 90 days of investing 100,000 in a bank that offers 15.5% interest, 15.5% simple interest per annum is 103,875 pesos. Another example. Ruben's mother borrows 35,000 to fix their car. The bank charges 5% interest for 2 years. What is the total amount that his mother will owe the bank? Here are the given. Principal amount of 35,000 pesos. Rate of 5%, or in decimal form it is 0.05. Term for 2 years. Formula for maturity value, it is principal amount multiplied by 1 plus R multiplied by T. For the solution, simply input these values from the given formula. P is replaced by 35,000, R is being replaced by 0.05, and T by 2. First, you need to simplify numbers inside the parentheses. 2 multiplied by 0.05 times plus 1 is 1.1 multiplied by 35,000 will give you 38,500. So the total amount that his mother will owe the bank is 38,500 pesos. Okay, what we are going to do is we will derive formulas in finding the present value, rate, and time in simple interest by using maturity value formula or the future value formula, which is F equals P quantity 1 plus RT. And if your goal is to find for the present value, particularly capital letter P, you will divide both sides by quantity 1 plus RT. So P quantity 1 plus RT divided by quantity 1 plus RT is P equals F over 1 plus RT. And to solve for and to derive formulas for finding the rate and time in simple interest, we will use this formula, which is the same as this one. So future value or maturity value equals principal amount plus interest. So F equals P plus PRT. To solve for R, simply use addition property of equality by adding negative P on both sides of the equation, and then So divide both sides by PT. So PRT divided by PT is R equals F minus P over PT. For time, same procedure with this one. F minus P equals PRT. But this time, we will divide both sides by PR. So PRT divided by PR is equivalent to T equals F minus P over PR. The first formula is for finding the present value in simple interest. Second formula is for finding the rate in simple interest. And the third formula is used for finding time in simple interest. Let us now have sample problem. Marvin and Eliza Marie want to invest now in preparation for their daughter's debut. Hence, they want to have 200,000 pesos after 5 years. How much should they invest at an investment paying 13% for 5 years? Here are the given. Future value of 200,000 pesos. Interest rate of 13% or 0.13 in decimal form. And T equals 5 years. Formula to be used is P equals F over quantity 1 plus RT. So simply input all the given from our formula. So F is being replaced by 200,000 pesos and R by 0.13 and T by 5. So you need to simplify first numbers in the denominator. So 5 multiplied by 0.13 plus 1 is 1.65. So 200,000 divided by 1.65 is 121,212.1212. Therefore, they need to invest 121,212 now in order for them to have 200,000 pesos after 5 years. Next problem. At what rate will the amount of 30,000 pesos investment yields 80,000 pesos in 10 years at simple interest? Since you are asking about rate, you will be using formula in finding rate in simple interest. Let us list down all the given. Present value of 30,000 pesos, future value of 80,000 pesos, and time for 10 years. Formula to be used, R equals F minus P over PT. For the solution, simply replace F by 80,000, P by 30,000, P by 30,000, and T by 10. So, simplify numbers in the denominator. 10 multiplied by 30,000 is 300,000. And 50,000 divided by 300,000 is 0.1667 or 16.67%. Therefore, with an interest rate of 16.67%, your 30,000 pesos will yield to 80,000 pesos after 10 years. Next problem, still in simple interest. How long will an investment of 543,100 pesos yields 876,600 pesos at simple interest rate of 7% annually? List down all the given. Present value of 543,100 pesos, future value of 876,600 pesos, and rate at 7% or 0.07. Formula to be used, T equals F minus P over PR. For the solution, simply replace this replacement value from this given formula. So F is being replaced by 876,600, P by 543,100 pesos, and R by 0.07. 876,600 minus 543,100 is 333,500. 543,100 multiplied by 0.07 is 38,017. And 333,500 divided by 38,017 is 8.77 year. So 543,100 pesos will yield to 876,600 pesos at the interest rate of 7% annually after 8.77 years. Now, our discussion will be on compound interest, particularly interest, maturity value, future value, and present value. Let us recall the definition of compound interest. It is the interest resulting from the periodic addition of simple interest to the principal. So the detailed explanation for that, there is what we call conversion period or compounding period in a compound interest. It refers to the time interval between succeeding interest calculation, and the interest earned during a period is converted to principal at the end of the period because the principal and the interest are combined and treated as the new principal for the succeeding period. The effect of converting interest to principal is that the interest earned in a period will also earn interest in all succeeding periods. So let us have formula for compound interest. It is represented or denoted by I sub C equals F for future value or maturity value minus present value or the principal amount. Let us now learn how to find the maturity value in compound interest. By taking this example, to what sum of money of 75,200 pesos will accumulate in 2 years and 10 months at 4% compounded annually? How much is the compound interest? Actually, you are asking about two things. Sum of money, which is the maturity value or the future value, and then the compound interest. Remember that the formula for the maturity value or the future value is F equals P quantity 1 plus R raised to T. Here are the given. Principal amount of 75,200. Term or time for 2 years and 10 months, or it is equivalent to 2.8333. So I just avoid using fractional exponent. So I express that in decimal form. Rate of 4% or in decimal it is 0.04. Formula to be used is the same as this one. For the solution, simply replace P by 75,200, rate by 0.04, and then term by 2.8333. So I just approximate these values because it is in non-terminating decimal. I approximate this in 4 decimal places. And then simplify number inside the parentheses. 1 plus 0.04 is 1.04 raised to 2.8333. and that is 1.117533524 multiplied by 75,200. It will give you the maturity value of 84,038 pesos 52104. For the compound interest, remember that the formula is I sub C equals F minus P. Our maturity value is 84,038 pesos 52104 minus 75,200. I sub C is equivalent to 8,838.52104. So this is the compound interest and this is your maturity value after 2 years and 10 months at 4% compounded annually. Another problem: how much will be paid on the maturity date of December 27, 2019 for a loan of 45,000 that is made on June 27, 2015 with interest rate at 12.5% compounded annually. So here are the given: principal amount of 45,000, term for 4 years and 6 months. It came from the date from starting June 27, 2015 and it ended at December 27, 2019. So it is 4 years and 6 months or 4.5 years. Rate at 12.5% or 0.125. Formula to be used is maturity value equals principal amount quantity 1 plus rate raised to time. Simply replace PRT by 45,000 by 0.125 and your term is for 4.5 years. And next, simplify number inside the parentheses. It is 1 plus 0.125, it is 1.125. Raised to 4.5, it is 1.69897257. So, as much as possible, list down all the values from this given number, and this will be multiplied to 45,000 pesos. And the maturity value is 76,453.7628. So after 4 years and 6 months, your money for your loan of 45,000 will yield to 76,453.7628. Next, let us discuss how to find the present value in compound interest. First, we will derive the formula for present value using maturity value formula. And since you are solving for P, you need to divide both sides by quantity 1 plus r raised to t. So P quantity 1 plus r raised to t over 1 plus r raised to t is equivalent to P, and P is equivalent to F over 1 plus r raised to t. So this is the formula that we will be using in finding the present value in compound interest. Let us take this example. How much money must be invested to obtain the amount of 757,575 pesos in 7 years and 6 months if money earns 5.25% compounded annually? Here are the given: future value of 757,575, term for 7 years and 6 months or 7.5 years, interest rate of 5.25% or 0.0525. Formula to be used since you're asking about the money that must be invested. So present value equals future value over 1 plus r raised to time. For the solution, Replace f by 757,575, r by 0.0525, and t by 7.5. Simplify numbers in the denominator. 1 plus 0.0525 is 1.0525 raised to 7.5. And that is equivalent to 1.4677968284. And 757,575 divided by this number will give you 516,130.8884. It means that you need to invest 516,130 pesos to obtain the amount of 757,575 after 7 years and 6 months at 5.25% compounded annually. Okay, based from the previous examples, they deal with compound interest, particularly compounding yearly, compounding annually, or compounding once a year. But this time, we will be discussing about, or we will be focusing on about compounding more than once a year. Let us check this table. First column, compounding or conversion frequency. We have conversion frequency for annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. And when we say compounding or conversion frequency, it is a number of compounding that takes place a year. When we say annually, once. The number of compounding or conversion per year happens once. Semi-annually, twice. Quarterly, 4 times. Monthly, 12. Weekly, 52 times. Daily, 365 times. The number of conversion periods for 1 year is denoted by small letter m. So the possible values for m are the following: 1, 2, 4, 12, 52, 3, 6, 5. While the total number of conversion periods for the whole investment term is denoted by a small letter n. And to get n, to solve for n, the formula is n equals m multiplied by t, where n is the total number of conversion periods for the whole term, m equals number of conversion periods per year, and t equals time period or term of the loan or investment. We will also discuss about j, which is equivalent to I raised to m over m, where j is equivalent to rate of interest for each conversion period. I raised to m equals annual rate of interest. M equals frequency of conversion. So just think of this as your time and this one as your interest rate. Okay, let us now have another formula for maturity value or future value in compound interest. This formula is applicable only for compounding more than once a year. Using the original formula for maturity future value, f equals p quantity 1 plus r raised to t. As I have mentioned a while ago, you can think of j as your interest rate and n as your time. But j is equivalent to I raised to m over m, and n is equivalent to m multiplied by t. So you can use this formula in finding the maturity value, future value in compound interest. Just remember that your f is your maturity or future value, p for your principal or present value, I raised to m is your nominal rate of interest or annual rate, m is your frequency of conversion, and t for your term or time in years. Let us now analyze the given problem. Find the compound amount and interest on 175,250 pesos for 15 years and 6 months at 6 and 3/4% compounded quarterly. Here are the given. Present value of 175,250 pesos time for 15 years and 6 months or 15.5 years. Rate at 6 and 3/4%, so it is 6.75% or 0.0675. And then from the word quarterly, the value of m equals 4. The formula to be used is F equals P quantity 1 plus I raised to m over m raised to mt. So this is the formula for the future value or the compound amount. For the solution, replace P by 175,250, replace I raised to m by 0.065, replace m by 4, m by 4, and t by 15.5. Then 0.0675 over 4 is 0.016875, and 4 times 15.5 is 62. Then 1 plus 0.016875 raised to 62 is 2.82221022. Multiply this by 175,250, it will give you 494,592.3379. So after 15 years and 6 months at 6 and 3/4% compounded quarterly, your 175,250 pesos will become 494,592.3379. Then your compound interest is future value minus present value. It will give you 319,342.3379. Okay, another problem. On January 23, 2013, Julius borrowed 15,000 pesos and promised to pay the principal and interest at 9% compounded semi-annually on October 23, 2017. How much will he pay? So first, to list down all the given. Principal amount of 15,000 pesos. Time from January 23, 2013 up to October 23, 2017. The term is 4 years and 9 months or 4.75 years. Rate at 9% compounded semi-annually, 9% or 0.09. The value of m equals to from the word semi-annually. The formula to be used is the same as the formula that we have last time. So replace P by 15,000, I raised to m by 0.09, m by 2, m by 2, and t by 4.75 years. Next, 0.09 over 2 is 0.045 plus 1 raised to 9.5. 9.5 came from the multiplying 2 by 4.75, and it is 1 plus 0.045 raised to 9.5 is 1.519164,346. Multiplied this by 15,000, it is 22,787.46519. So at the end of the maturity date, he will pay for 22,787.46519. Let us now proceed with the discussion of present value in compound interest, particularly compounding more than once a year. In deriving the formula, we will be using the formula for future value maturity value, which is F equals P quantity 1 plus R raised to T. As I have mentioned a while ago, think of your J as your interest rate and N as your T or time. But since j is equivalent to I raised to m over m, and n is equivalent to m multiplied by t, you can express this formula for maturity value in this manner. So from this, we can derive the formula for present value in compound interest compounding more than once a year. Simply divide both sides by 1, quantity 1 plus I raised to m over m raised to mt. And then P equals f over 1 plus I raised to m over m raised to mt. Remember that f is your future value or maturity value, P is your present value or principal amount, I raised to m is your rate, and then m is your conversion frequency, and then t is your term or time in years. Let us take this example. How much should Mr. Benson needs to invest today to buy his only son a brand new Toyota car worth 1,234,567 pesos as a graduation gift 8.5 years from now if money is worth 9 3/4% compounded quarterly. Here are the given. Future value of 1,234,567 pesos. Time is for 8.5 years. Rate of 9.75% or 0.0975. And M equals 4 from the word quarterly. Conversion frequency is 4. The formula to be used is P equals F over 1 plus I raised to M over M raised to M multiplied by T. Solution. Replace F by 1,234,567. Replace nominal rate by 0.0975 and conversion frequency by 4 and time by 8.5. Next, 0.0975 over 4 plus 1 raised to 4 multiplied by 8.5 is 2.267801358, and 1,234,567 divide it by this number is 544,389.3908, which means that Mr. Benson needs to invest 544,389.39.08 to have 1,234,567 pesos after 8.5 years at 9 3/4% compounded quarterly. Okay, last example. Find the present value of the compounded amount of 690,690 pesos compounded monthly for 6 years and 9 months at 6.09%. Here are the given. Future value of 690,690 pesos. Time is for 6.75 years. Rate of 6.09% or 0.0609. And M is equals 12 from the word monthly. The formula to be used is P equals F over 1 plus I raised to M over M raised to MT. Then replace F by 690,690 pesos, I raised to M by 0.0609, M by 12, and T by 6.75. And then 0.0609 over 12 plus 1 raised to 12 multiplied by 6.75 is 1.506871147, and 690,690 pesos divided by 1.506871147 is 458,360.3591. So the present value of enter the present value should be 458,360.3591. And here is my reference in creating this material. Thank you and God bless.